The year was 2050, and Dr. Samantha Chen stood frozen before the holographic display, her eyes wide with disbelief. The radio telescope array she had painstakingly calibrated over the past decade had finally yielded results, but not the kind she had ever expected. The signal patterns dancing before her eyes told a story that would change the course of human history forever. "This can't be right," she muttered, her fingers flying over the console as she ran diagnostic after diagnostic. But each test only confirmed what she already knew in her gut. They were not alone in the universe, and their galactic neighbors were far from friendly. The signal originated from a distant star system, over 50 light-years away. It wasn't a message of peace or an invitation for first contact. Instead, it was a military transmission intercepted purely by chance. The aliens, whoever they were discussing invasion plans, and Earth was their target. As the reality of the situation sank in, Samantha's initial shock gave way to a steely determination. She reached for her communicator, her hand trembling slightly as she dialed a number she had sworn never to use except in the direst of emergencies. "This is Dr. Chen," she said, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Get me the Secretary of Defense. Priority Alpha. The clock is ticking." Within hours, the highest echelons of global power were gathered in a secure, underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains. Leaders from every nation sat side by side, old enmities forgotten in the face of an existential threat to their entire species. Dr. Chen stood before them, her holographic presentation painting a grim picture of humanity's future if they failed to act. "Based on the data we've intercepted," she explained, her voice echoing in the cavernous room, "we have less than 2 decades before they arrive. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours. If we meet them as we are now, it won't be a war, it will be a slaughter." A heavy silence fell over the room as the implications sank in. It was the president of the African Union who finally broke it, her voice filled with quiet resolve. "Then we must ensure we do not meet them as we are now. We must evolve, and quickly." And so began the greatest unified effort in human history. Operation Stardust, as it came to be known, was a global initiative that would push the boundaries of science, technology, and human potential to their absolute limits. The first order of business was secrecy. The public couldn't know the real reason behind the sudden surge in scientific funding and military preparedness. Instead, a carefully crafted narrative about exploring the solar system captured the world's imagination, providing cover for the true purpose of their endeavors. Research facilities sprang up across the globe, each focusing on a different aspect of the monumental task ahead. In the deserts of Nevada, engineers worked tirelessly to reverse engineer principles of anti-gravity from the scant clues in the intercepted transmissions. Deep beneath the ice of Antarctica, biologists delved into the mysteries of human genetics, seeking ways to enhance human physiology to withstand the rigors of space and combat. Dr. Chen found herself at the heart of it all, coordinating efforts across continents and disciplines. She watched with a mixture of awe and trepidation as humanity's progress accelerated at a pace she had never thought possible. Theories that had once been considered fringe science were proven, developed, and implemented in the span of months rather than decades. But it wasn't just science and technology that were advancing. The very nature of human society was evolving. Old conflicts and petty squabbles fell by the wayside as people united under a common purpose. The economy restructured itself around the needs of Operation Stardust, with new industries springing up overnight to meet the insatiable demand for innovation. Education systems were overhauled, identifying and nurturing the brightest minds from every corner of the globe. Children who might once have lived and died in obscurity were given the opportunity to contribute their unique talents to humanity's grand endeavor. As the years passed, the fruits of their labor began to manifest in ways that would have seemed like science fiction mere decades ago. The first antimatter reactor came online in 2058, solving humanity's energy crisis overnight. Quantum computers, once the subject of theoretical papers, became a reality, their processing power accelerating research across every field. But perhaps the most staggering breakthrough came in 2062, when Dr. Yuki Tanaka and her team in Tokyo announced the successful creation of functional warp drive. The ability to bend space-time itself meant that humanity could now reach the stars and meet their would-be invaders on equal footing. As 2070 approached, Earth had been transformed. Gleaming cities stretched into the skies, their spires interconnected by networks of flying vehicles. Orbiting shipyards constructed vessels of war unlike anything seen before in human history, their sleek hulls bristling with weaponry that could unleash the power of stars. But it wasn't just humanity's external appearance that had changed. The people themselves were different, stronger, faster, more intelligent. Genetic enhancements and cybernetic augmentations had become commonplace, pushing the boundaries of what it meant to be human. Dr. Chen, now in her 60s but looking hardly a day over 40 thanks to life extension treatments, stood on the observation deck of Lunar Base Alpha, gazing out at the Earth below. She remembered the day, 20 years ago, when she had first discovered the alien transmission. The fear she had felt then was gone, replaced by a quiet confidence. A young lieutenant approached her, snapping to attention. "Dr. Chen, we've just received word from the Kuiper Belt outpost. They've detected the alien fleet entering the solar system." Samantha nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Thank you, Lieutenant. Inform Central Command that Operation Stardust is now entering its final phase." As the lieutenant hurried away, Samantha turned her gaze to the stars. The aliens were coming, just as they had planned all those years ago. But they would find a very different Earth waiting for them. An Earth that had awakened to its true potential, an Earth that was ready to take its place among the stars. And as the first ships of humanity's grand fleet began to rise from their terrestrial berths, their engines glowing with the fire of a new age, Dr. Samantha Chen knew that this was not the end of their journey, but merely the beginning. The awakening was complete. Now, it was time for humanity to ascend. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Captain Zara Vega as she stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, humanity's first true interstellar warship. A marvel of engineering and scientific advancement, the Prometheus represented the pinnacle of human achievement, a vessel capable of bending the very fabric of space-time to its will. Zara's dark eyes scanned the holographic displays surrounding her, each one a testament to how far humanity had come in the 2 decades since Dr. Chen's fateful discovery. The ship's quantum AI, AOIA, processed petabytes of data every second, constantly adjusting the Prometheus's systems to maintain peak efficiency. "Captain," AOIA's melodic voice echoed through the bridge. "We're approaching the rendezvous point with the Artemis battle group. ETA 3 minutes." Zara nodded, her augmented mind already running through dozens of possible scenarios. Acknowledged AOIA. Prepare for transition to normal space. As the Prometheus prepared to drop out of warp, Zara couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought humanity to this moment. The years following the initiation of Operation Stardust had been a whirlwind of progress and change, pushing the boundaries of what was possible at a pace that would have been unthinkable just a generation ago. The unification of Earth under the banner of the United Earth Government had been a crucial step. Old national boundaries became increasingly irrelevant as humanity focused on its common goal of survival and ascendance. The UAG, headquartered in the sprawling megacity of Neo Geneva, coordinated global efforts with an efficiency that would have seemed utopian in previous eras. But it wasn't just political structures that had evolved. The very nature of human society had undergone a radical transformation. The threat of alien invasion had sparked a renaissance in art, philosophy, and culture. People grappled with what it meant to be human in a universe teeming with intelligent life, and how to define themselves in the face of such monumental change. Education had been revolutionized, with direct neural interfaces allowing students to absorb vast amounts of information in a fraction of the time it would have taken their ancestors. By the age of 18, the average person now possessed knowledge equivalent to multiple PhDs from the early 21st century. The economy, too, had been overhauled. Scarcity had become a thing of the past, thanks to molecular assemblers that could create almost anything from base elements. Energy was abundant, courtesy of fusion reactors and orbital solar arrays. This post-scarcity society allowed humanity to focus its collective efforts on innovation and exploration, free from the constraints of resource competition. Zara's reverie was interrupted as the Prometheus smoothly transitioned back to normal space. The vast emptiness of the void was suddenly filled with the awe-inspiring sight of the Artemis battle group, a fleet of warships that would have been the stuff of science fiction fantasies mere decades ago. Captain, Her XO, Commander Akira Tanaka, reported, all ships accounted for and in formation. Admiral Zhou is requesting your presence for the final briefing. Zara squared her shoulders. Very well. You have the bridge. Commander, ARYA, prepare the quantum entanglement communicator. Moments later, Zara found herself in a virtual conference room, her consciousness projected across light years instantaneously. She was joined by the holographic avatars of 24 other captains and the imposing figure of Admiral Ling Zhu. Ladies and gentlemen, the Admiral began, her voice carrying the weight of command. In less than 24 hours, we will make first contact with the Arbiters. A ripple of tension passed through the assembled officers. The Arbiters, that was the name humanity had given to the alien force approaching their solar system. After years of preparation, the moment of truth was finally at hand. Admiral Zhu continued, her eyes sweeping across the virtual gathering. Our mission is clear. We are to assess their capabilities, attempt peaceful communication if possible, but above all, we must protect Earth and her colonies. If the Arbiters prove hostile, we are authorized to use any and all means necessary to neutralize the threat. As the briefing continued, Zara's mind raced with the implications of what they were about to face. The technological leaps humanity had made were staggering, but would they be enough? The intercepted transmissions from 2 decades ago had painted a picture of a vastly superior force. Had the playing field been leveled, or were they still outmatched? Back on the bridge of the Prometheus, Zara addressed her crew. Men and women stood at their stations, their bodies a seamless blend of organic and synthetic, their minds linked to the ship's systems in ways that would have seemed like magic to their ancestors. We stand at the threshold of a new era, Zara began, her voice carrying to every corner of the ship. Everything we have worked for, everything we have sacrificed, has led us to this moment. We carry with us the hopes and dreams of every human being, past and present. Whatever we face out there, we face it together, as one species, united in our determination to forge our own destiny among the stars. A chorus of cheers erupted from the crew, their resolve palpable. Zara allowed herself a small smile before turning her attention back to the task at hand. RIA, she commanded, initiate final systems check. Weapons, shields, warp drive. I want everything at 110%. Acknowledged, Captain, the AI responded. All systems operating at peak efficiency. Detecting anomalous energy signatures at the edge of the solar system. Probable cause. Arbiter fleet entering real space. Zara's expression hardened. This was it. The moment that would define the future of humanity. Battle stations, she ordered, her voice calm but filled with steel. Prepare for warp jump on my mark. As the Prometheus and the rest of the Artemis battle group prepared to meet their destiny, back on Earth, billions held their breath. In homes, offices, and public squares, people gathered around holoscreens, waiting for news of humanity's first encounter with an alien civilization. In the depths of Lunar Base Alpha, Dr. Samantha Chen stood in the Central Command Center, surrounded by banks of quantum computers and streams of real-time data from across the solar system. Despite the gravity of the situation, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in how far they had come. Dr. Chen, a young analyst, called out, "We're receiving telemetry from the fleet. They're about to engage." Samantha nodded, her eyes fixed on the main display. May the stars watch over them, she murmured. As the human fleet surged forward to meet the unknown, the collective consciousness of Earth seemed to pause, balanced on the knife edge of history. In this moment, humanity had truly ascended, ready to claim its place in the cosmic order. The next chapter of human history was about to be written among the stars, and Captain Zara Vega and her crew were holding the pen. As the order to jump was given and the fabric of space-time bent around the Prometheus, one thought echoed through Zara's mind. We are ready. Come what may, we will face it. For Earth, for humanity, for our future. With a flash of light that outshone the stars themselves, the human fleet vanished, hurtling towards their rendezvous with destiny. The ascension was complete. Now, it was time for the confrontation. The silence of space shattered as the human fleet materialized at the edge of the solar system. Captain Zara Vega's eyes widened at the sight before her. The Arbiter fleet was vast, a sea of alien architecture that defied human understanding. Sleek, obsidian vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it hung in the void, their very presence a challenge to humanity's newfound confidence. ARIA analysis, Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the hammering of her heart. The A's response was instantaneous. Arbiter fleet consists of approximately 500 vessels of varying sizes. Energy readings suggest technology comparable to our own, with some variations, detecting no immediate weapons lock or aggressive posturing. Zara's brow furrowed. This wasn't what they had expected. The intercepted transmissions from 2 decades ago had painted a picture of an overwhelmingly superior force, yet the fleet before them seemed manageable. Open a channel to Admiral Zhu, Zara ordered. Moments later, the Admiral's hologram appeared on the bridge. I see it too, Captain Zhu said, answering the unspoken question. Something's not right. Maintain battle readiness, but let's see if we can talk to them. As if on cue, a signal came through. Captain, ARIA announced, we're receiving a transmission from the Arbiter fleet. They're requesting communication. Zara exchanged a glance with her XO, Commander Tanaka. This was unexpected, but it could be an opportunity. Put it through, she commanded. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that was both alien and eerily familiar. The Arbiter representative had a humanoid form, but its skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, and its eyes, all 4 of them, blinked in unsettling synchronization. Greetings, humans, the alien spoke, its voice a melodious trill that the ship's translators struggled to render. We are the Arbiters, and we come seeking judgment. A tense silence fell over the bridge. Judgment? What did that mean? Admiral Zhou's voice crackled over the comms. This is Admiral Ling Zhu of the United Earth Government. We detected your approach and have come to defend our system. What is the nature of this judgment you speak of? The Arbiter's expression remained impassive. For millennia, we have traveled the stars, testing emerging species. Those who pass our trials are welcomed into the galactic community. Those who fail are deemed unworthy. Zara's mind raced. This wasn't an invasion force, it was an evaluation committee. The implications were staggering. And what are the parameters of this test? Zhu asked, her voice cautious. The Arbiter's reply sent a chill down Zara's spine. That, Admiral, is for us to know and you to discover. The trial begins now. Without warning, a brilliant beam of energy lanced out from the Arbiter flagship, striking an asteroid in the nearby belt. The space rock shattered, its fragments hurtling towards the human fleet at incredible speeds. Evasive maneuvers, Zara shouted. The Prometheus lurched as it dodged the incoming debris. Across the fleet, other ships were doing the same, their advanced AI systems working in perfect harmony to avoid collision. All ships, defensive formation Delta. Admiral Zhou's voice rang out. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. The human fleet moved with practiced precision, forming a protective barrier between the Arbiter ships and Earth. As they did so, more beams fired from the alien vessels, not directly at the human ships, but at various celestial bodies in the system, creating a chaotic field of debris and gravitational disturbances. "They're testing our reflexes," Commander Tanaka realized aloud. "Our ability to adapt to rapidly changing conditions." Zara nodded grimly. "And our willingness to protect others at the cost of our own safety." HFY, predictive analysis on debris trajectories, prioritize defense of civilian stations and colonies in the outer system. As the Prometheus darted through the chaos, its shields flaring with each impact it couldn't completely avoid, Zara felt a surge of pride. The ship, a culmination of human ingenuity and determination, was performing beautifully. Across the fleet, other captains were reporting similar successes. But the arbiters weren't done. A new signal cut through the comms. "Fascinating," the alien voice mused. "You've surpassed our initial expectations. But how will you fare against a more direct approach?" Suddenly, a group of smaller arbiter vessels broke from their main fleet, streaking towards Mars and its colonies. Their intentions were clear. They were forcing humanity to split its forces, to demonstrate its ability to multitask in crisis. "Artemis Squadron, break off and intercept," Admiral Zhu commanded. "Protect those colonies at all costs." Zara watched as a third of their fleet peeled away, racing to defend Mars. Her own focus remained on the main arbiter force, which was now advancing slowly but steadily towards Earth. "They're hurting us," Zara realized. Analysis on arbiter weapon systems, find me a weakness. As the AA worked, the space around them erupted into a dazzling display of advanced warfare. Energy beams crisscrossed the void, while swarms of automated drones engaged in lightning-fast dogfights. The human fleet gave as good as it got, their own weapons leaving scorch marks on the previously immaculate arbiter hulls. On Earth, billions watched with bated breath. In command centers and living rooms alike, people marveled at the battle unfolding in real time through their neural interfaces. Dr. Samantha Chen, monitoring from Lunar Base Alpha, felt a mix of awe and terror. This was it, the moment that would define humanity's place in the cosmos. Back on the Prometheus, Zara made a decision. "We can't keep this up indefinitely," she told her crew. "It's time to show them what we're really capable of." AOA, initiate Protocol Omega. A ripple of anticipation passed through the crew. Protocol Omega was their ace in the hole, a weapon so advanced and unpredictable that it had been kept secret even from most of Earth's leadership. As AOIA began the complex sequence of calculations needed to activate Protocol Omega, the battle reached a fever pitch. Human and arbiter ships danced a deadly waltz through the debris-strewn space, each seeking advantage. Suddenly, AOIA's voice cut through the chaos. "Captain, Protocol Omega is ready, but there's something you should know. I've detected a pattern in the arbiter attacks. They're holding back." Zara frowned. "Explain." "Their weapon systems are operating at only 60% capacity. Their maneuvers, while impressive, are designed to test rather than destroy. This entire confrontation, it's elaborately staged." The realization hit Zara like a thunderbolt. This wasn't just a test of their military might. It was a test of their wisdom, their ability to see beyond the immediate conflict. In that moment, Zara made a choice that would echo through human history. "Stand down, Protocol Omega," she commanded. Then, opening a channel to the entire fleet, she spoke. "All ships cease fire. I repeat, cease fire." Admiral Zhou's voice crackled through, a mix of confusion and anger. "Captain Vega, what are you doing?" "Trust me, Admiral," Zara replied, her voice steady. "I think I understand the real test." Then, switching to the channel with the Arbiter flagship, she spoke. "Arbiter Command, this is Captain Zara Vega of the UES Prometheus. We recognize the true nature of your test, and we choose to end this conflict. We are prepared to talk." For a long moment, silence reigned. Then the Arbiter leader's voice came through, tinged with what sounded almost like approval. Well done, Captain Vega. You have demonstrated not just technological prowess, but wisdom. Stand by for further instructions. As the guns fell silent and the debris began to clear, a collective exhale seemed to pass through the human fleet. They had faced their first true extraterrestrial challenge, and they had emerged not just intact, but victorious in a way none of them had anticipated. On the bridge of the Prometheus, Zara allowed herself a small smile. The confrontation was over, but she knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had proven itself worthy of a place among the stars. Now, the real work of forging their cosmic destiny could begin. As the Arbiter and human fleets began to intermingle, no longer as adversaries but as potential allies, Zara couldn't help but wonder what other surprises the universe had in store for them. One thing was certain: humanity was ready to face whatever came next, united and unafraid. The stars beckoned, and for the first time, humanity could answer their call as equals. The grand hall of the Galactic Conclave hummed with an electric tension. Representatives from 1,000 worlds filled the vast chamber, their forms as diverse as the stars themselves. At the center of it all stood Captain Zara Vega, her crisp United Earth uniform standing out amidst the swirling colors and bizarre fashions of the assembled aliens. It had been 6 months since the confrontation with the Arbiters, 6 months of whirlwind diplomacy and cultural exchange. Humanity had been welcomed into the galactic community with open arms, hailed as the newest rising star in the cosmic theater. But something wasn't right. Zara could feel it in her augmented bones. "The chair recognizes the representative from Earth," announced the conclave speaker, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline matrix. Zara stepped forward, her voice clear and strong. "Esteemed members of the conclave, I come before you today with grave concerns. In the months since our induction into this august body, we have shared our technology freely, as is custom, but we have noticed discrepancies." A murmur rippled through the assembled delegates. Zara continued, her eyes scanning the crowd. "Our quantum entanglement communicators have detected unauthorized access attempts. Our AI systems have reported anomalous data patterns consistent with external probing. Someone, or something, is attempting to breach our most secure systems." The Arbiter representative, Exandros, rose from his seat. "These are serious allegations, Captain Vega. Do you have proof?" Zara nodded to her aide, who activated a holographic display. Complex data streams and security logs filled the air. "Our cybersecurity protocols, enhanced by AI oversight, have logged multiple intrusion attempts. The source, I'm afraid it traces back to conclave security networks." The chamber erupted in shocked whispers and angry denials. Zara raised her hand for silence. "We do not make these claims lightly. Earth has no desire for conflict. We seek only the truth and assurance that our trust in this body has not been misplaced." As the conclave descended into heated debate, Zara's neural implant buzzed with an incoming message. It was from AOIA, the AI she had come to trust implicitly. "Captain," AOIA's voice echoed in her mind, "I've completed the deep scan you requested. You were right to be suspicious. The data inconsistencies go far beyond mere espionage. I've detected evidence of a massive, coordinated deception." Zara's blood ran cold. "Explain," she subvocalized. "The Galactic Conclave, the Arbiters, this entire power structure, it's an elaborate construct. A simulation of sorts, designed to test and control emerging species. The technology we've been given access to, carefully curated, the history we've been taught, selectively edited." As AOA's revelations poured in, Zara struggled to maintain her composure. The implications were staggering. Everything they had believed about their place in the galaxy, the very nature of galactic civilization, it was all a carefully crafted lie. But why? What was the purpose of this grand deception? As if reading her thoughts, AOIA continued, "I've traced the origin of this construct. It leads back to a species known as the Precursors. They appeared to be the true power behind the conclave, manipulating events from the shadows. Zara's mind raced. The precursors were supposed to be mythical beings, the first species to achieve interstellar travel eons ago. According to conclave history, they had ascended to a higher plane of existence, leaving the younger races to govern themselves. Clearly, that was far from the truth. Captain, Aoraya's voice held a note of urgency. I've detected a surge of energy from the conclave's central systems. I believe they've become aware of my probe. We may have minutes before they attempt to neutralize us. Zara made a split-second decision. Aoraya, initiate Protocol Phoenix, and get me a secure line to Earth. It's time to bring down this house of cards. As Aoraya worked to implement the secret contingency plan they had developed, Zara turned her attention back to the conclave chamber. The debate had devolved into near chaos, with accusations flying and alliances fracturing. Esteemed delegates, Zara's voice cut through the din, amplified by hidden speakers. I'm afraid I have one more revelation to share, one that will shake the very foundations of this conclave. All eyes turned to her, a mix of curiosity and trepidation on alien faces. Zara took a deep breath. The Galactic Conclave is a lie. A construct created by beings known as the precursors to control and manipulate emerging species. We are all pawns in their grand game. The chamber exploded into pandemonium. Delegates shouted denials, others demanded proof, while some simply sat in stunned silence. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and a new figure appeared, a being of pure light, its form constantly shifting. Enough, it thundered, its voice reverberating through the minds of all present. I am Zor-Eth of the Precursors, the being announced. The human speaks the truth. For eons, we have guided the development of young species, shaping the galaxy to our design. And now you, humanity, have done what no other has managed in millions of years. You have seen through our veil. Zara stood her ground, facing the luminous being. Why? She demanded. Why this elaborate deception? Zor-Eth's form pulsed. To prevent chaos. To ensure that no species rises to threaten the cosmic order we have so carefully cultivated. But you humans, you have exceeded all our models, all our predictions. As Zor-Eth spoke, Zara received another message from Aoya. Protocol Phoenix is ready, Captain. Earth is standing by. We await your command. Zara's eyes narrowed as she regarded the precursor. You say we've exceeded your predictions. Well, let me show you just how unpredictable we can be. She raised her voice, addressing the still shocked delegates. To all species who value true freedom, who desire to shape their own destinies, the time has come to break free from the precursor's control. Earth stands ready to lead this fight. Who stands with us? For a moment, silence reigned. Then, one by one, delegates began to stand. The arbiters, the Zortaxians, the Kulari, species that had been at each other's throats moments ago now united in the face of a common threat. Zor-Eth's form flickered, a note of concern entering its voice. You cannot hope to stand against us. We are eternal, all-powerful. Zara smiled, a predatory glint in her eye. Perhaps. But we are humanity. We faced extinction and emerged stronger. We've overcome our own demons and reached for the stars, and now we'll do what we do best, defy the impossible. With that, she gave the mental command to Aoya. Across the galaxy, hidden quantum beacons activated, linking Earth's most powerful AIs with those of their new allies. In an instant, the carefully constructed digital barriers of the precursors system began to crumble. Zor-Eth's form began to destabilize. What have you done? It gasped. We're rewriting the rules, Zara declared. Your age of manipulation is over. The species of this galaxy will forge their own path, free from your invisible chains. As alarms blared and the very fabric of the conclave chamber began to waver, Zara turned to the assembled delegates. This is just the beginning. The road ahead will be challenging, but together, we can build a truly free galactic society. The chamber, once a symbol of illusory unity, now became the birthplace of a genuine alliance. As species pledged their support to Earth's cause, Zara felt a surge of pride. Humanity had not just found its place among the stars, it had become a catalyst for cosmic revolution. As the precursors' carefully constructed reality continued to unravel around them, Zara knew that the real battle was just beginning. But for the first time in galactic history, the future was truly unwritten. And humanity was holding the pen.